What's up, beautiful people? I'm Erin, and this is Erin on Demand. And today, I'm just gonna share my thoughts with y'all about what type of content I think is currently winning or what you should be focusing on right now. Content from the time that I started creating on YouTube and just really taking content creation seriously was pretty much 2019. And so much has changed since then, particularly the rise of short form video content. And so now in the current time that we're in, we're seeing a lot more relatable content going viral, taking off, opposed to a lot of the educational content. And I've just been noticing this shift, and that's why I wanted to come on here and just kind of brain dump what I think is happening and perhaps what you may want to focus a little bit more of your attention on when it comes to what you prioritize in your content. So for me, I have always been more of an educational content type of person in terms of what I used YouTube for in the beginning. Like when I would watch YouTube, I was mainly searching things, especially about entrepreneurship, building my brand, how to, just learning things on YouTube, like hashtag YouTube University, right? And then I started my own channel, and I was watching YouTube obsessively before I started Erin on Demand. And then I realized that there was a gap in the content, so I started creating my own. Now, when I first started my channel, it was mainly educational content. I was talking about how much money I saved before I went full-time entrepreneur and all of these different beginner entrepreneur topics. And my channel was doing good, but then I started vlogging. One day I didn't have anything planned content-wise, and I was like, I'm just gonna take my camera and I'm gonna try to put a day in the life together. And it just took off, and it was something that was so relatable to people, but it also helped my audience understand what type, how I was putting these things to use that I was telling them to do, essentially, or that I was telling them that I was doing, but they weren't seeing it in action until I started doing the day in the lives. And so when I started doing the day in the lives, I was noticing that my community was really starting to form. I was beginning to attract people who were like me in more ways than just beginner entrepreneurs. I was grabbing, women who were like, oh my God, I wear a scarf at night too. Oh my gosh, you pray in the morning, so do I. And all of these random things that I was doing throughout the day were connection points that I was making with these women who had come from this entrepreneurship content, but really didn't know who I was. And so the vlogs and the day in the lives really opened my eyes to relatable content. Now relatable content has really kind of shifted into almost relatable comedy content. We have lots of trending sounds now. We have all of these trending videos in general that are different formats that people kind of plug and chug their own information or their own relatable quotes or whatever into. And we're seeing a lot of this type of content go viral. At this point, educational content is still, I don't think it's ever gonna go away because people are always trying to learn more. They're trying to understand how to, do whatever they're doing at a higher level. There's always gonna be a need for educational content. But now I think people are also really enjoying going on social media and just laughing and smiling and being like, oh my gosh, that's me. Me and my husband do that too. Or my dog acts like this too. And those tend to be and are right now some of the trendiest, viralist, if that's even a word, pieces of content online, the ones that are the most relatable. So my question is, how do you morph the two together, or which one should you be focusing on? I think that both, my short answer, but they're gonna serve two totally different purposes in your content strategy. So your educational content is gonna be the stuff that really sticks to people. It's gonna be the stuff that makes people want to listen to you, that builds your credibility, that helps them get results, that is more likely to convert people to purchase something from you if you are running a business or if you have any type of product or service that is latched onto your brand. Versus the relatable content is really gonna help them connect to you, get to know you, build a specific type of community around the type of people that you're looking to attract. So sometimes they're both really important because the relatable content to me is like the brand building content, in the sense that your personal brand is just as important as your business brand, your offer, your niche, all of those different things. Because when people know that they can relate to you, that helps expedite how fast they trust you. And so with the relatable content, when people who aren't even in the space to search for what your educational content is providing, you're able to attract, I know I'm like using these hands, you're able to attract those people before they even realize they need to be watching your educational content through your relatable content. So we're at a point where both types of content are equally important. Yes, you can go ham with the educational content and the how-tos and 3 tips for and how to, do this, that, and the third, and reviews and all of that stuff. And that's great, but you're also still competing with the people who really have your audience's attention because they're simply entertained by them. So this type of content is known as like edutainment content, where it's educational but also entertaining at the same time. And that's why now we're starting to see more TikTok dance trends being turned into like people educating and putting tips on the screen while they're like doing something fun and entertaining, because they're trying to merge these two types of content together. Now, the easiest way to do this is to really show your personality. Trying to grab pieces of content that reflect who you deeply are at your core is a really easy way. Well, I won't say easy because it's not always easy for people to do that, but it's a great way to merge educational and relatable content together. So start thinking about things that your audience who is not yet searching for your educational content, what types of scenarios are they going through? What types of thoughts are playing in their head? What are you doing on a daily basis? What are some fun or relatable situations that you run into as you're recording content? Did you forget to push record and you realized that you weren't recording this entire time? Oh my God, I would be so upset if that happened to me, but I just checked. But, thinking about those little run-ins that you have as you're doing whatever it is you're doing and creating relatable pieces of content around these scenarios. So I think all in all, both are extremely important, and you can do both on all platforms. So for YouTube, you can mix in some vlogs and you can mix in searchable educational content, because it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. And that's when I really saw my channel start to take off, not just in numbers, but in engagement, because people wanted to see how I was spending my time, what I was doing, like, some of my more raw moments. That is how you can incorporate some of that relatable content into your YouTube channel. As for Instagram, I say don't rely on trending sounds. I am one who is like hugely against relying on trends to grow, but you can use them. Like, they're a fun way to kind of break the ice, to help you feel a little bit more comfortable with sharing and being a bit more vulnerable, or trying out some more relatable content, entertaining content, opposed to just sitting and being a talking head and talking right to the camera and giving all these tips and hacks and these things of that nature when your audience is starting to get bored. So mixing in some of those things with your short form content to help give your strategy a nice, well-rounded balance. I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know down below which type of content you tend to skew more toward, relatable or educational. And in the next video, I'm gonna share, what am I sharing in the next video? I'm gonna talk about how to stay motivated when you're not seeing the results that you want, or even if you are seeing the results that you want, you're just feeling like you're in a slump when it comes to your content. Y'all know I know all about that. If you don't know, then check out my growth series, because I talk about how I was in this content slump. But I'm gonna share with you some things that I recently learned that can maybe help you get more motivated and re-inspired to take action on your content creation journey. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.